All right, this is a story that came out on WPRI.com. And here's a state we don't talk about a lot. Fentanyl related overdose deaths continue to climb in Rhode Island. All right, let's go ahead and listen to this video.
Try out Four Seasons with dual temperature. Now to a Target 12 investigators exclusive. We're learning overdose deaths related to the super potent drug fentanyl have overtaken other illicit drugs in Rhode Island, and the numbers show it's getting worse. Like many states, Rhode Island is grappling with the opioid crisis, but overdose deaths from fentanyl now outnumber accidental deaths from all other drugs combined. Target 12 investigator Tim White is here now with the details.
According to the CDC, fentanyl is a powerful painkiller that is also manufactured illegally on the streets. It's often mixed with other drugs like heroin and cocaine that even in small amounts can be lethal.
As the night wore on, I just had bad thoughts, the worst thoughts you can have as a parent.
In 2014, Sue Kutu's daughter, Kristen, had just returned from a rehab facility in Texas. She told her mom she was having dinner with a friend, then heading to a support meeting.
And when I opened the door, there were two policemen there, and they said, I didn't even let them speak at first, and I just said, please don't tell me my daughter's dead.
The 29-year-old had suffered a fatal overdose. Kutu says her daughter was a heroin user, but investigators say she was sold nearly pure fentanyl. Do you think Kristen knew how much fentanyl was in the drug that she took?
I don't think Kristen thought there was any fentanyl in the drug that she took.
Unfortunately, it's our #1 crisis still going on.
Department of Health Director Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott says overdose deaths have ticked up in the last few years, 290 in 2015 and 336 in 2016.
Our modeling shows that we may plateau around the same number. More than one death is unacceptable in our minds.
The data shows fentanyl is a growing cause behind those deaths. In 2014, 35% of overdose deaths in Rhode Island were fentanyl related, according to numbers from the Department of Health. That grew to 47% in 2015, 59% in 2016, and so far this year, 60% of overdose deaths in Rhode Island are linked to fentanyl. Hearing those numbers, how frustrated are you?
I'm very frustrated. I'm frustrated that we aren't able to get a handle on this situation. I'm frustrated that we haven't thought out of the box.
Kutu says going cold turkey, like the rehab her daughter received, does not work. She says people need to embrace medicated-assisted treatment using drugs like Suboxone long-term to curb cravings. And she urges parents to talk to their kids and not to ignore signs.
Love them as much as you can. Just love your children so much, and that alone gives them a feeling of belonging and being part of something bigger than themselves. Family is so important.
The man who sold Kristen Kutu the fentanyl-laced heroin pleaded no contest to second-degree murder and received a 20-year prison sentence. It's the first time in Rhode Island a drug dealer was convicted of murder in an overdose case. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
The Target 12 investigators are always looking to uncover news. If you want to help expose corruption or drop a dime on government waste, you can call our tip line 228-1763 or email us at target12@wpri.com.
All right. Now, the powerful and often potentially deadly drug fentanyl continues to grow as the leading cause of fatal overdoses in Rhode Island, according to Rhode Island Health Department data. Back in 2014, 35% of overdose deaths were fentanyl related. The share grew to 47% in 2015 and then hit more than half, 59% in 2016. The increase has continued this year. As of September, 60% of overdose deaths in 2017 are linked to the drug, data shows. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, fentanyl got its start as a synthetic drug typically prescribed to people suffering severe chronic pain. but most of the fentanyl behind overdoses is linked to illegally made fentanyl. It is often mixed with heroin and or cocaine as a combination product with or without the user's knowledge to increase its euphoric effects, according to the CDC's website. So, a lot more things are being laced with fentanyl nowadays, including marijuana. I'm starting to read more and more stories about that. Now, the cocaine laced with fentanyl, that actually started in New York. That's where the first deaths of cocaine users hit in the country. And now it's pretty much spreading everywhere, as you can see, even in Rhode Island. Our model shows we may plateau around the same number as of 2016, Alexander Scott said Friday during a taping of WPRI 12's newsmaker. More than one death is unacceptable in our minds, but we are acknowledging the increase other states are seeing. We are hopefully seeing a flattening of that. And we really want to see a decrease in those numbers. Well, that's kind of wishful thinking at this point because we know everything is increasing everywhere around the country. And that's because the street drug is strong. And as long as the street drug is strong, they really have no chance of cutting the addiction in half in America. So you see even the tiny state of Rhode Island is battling with pretty deadly fentanyl drug deaths and overdoses, and it's just all the same no matter where you are in this country. I will leave the link to this article in the description box. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, ladies and gentlemen, please do. And if you can also make a donation to the Hurricane Fund. As of now, I have $72. I would like to raise that higher so it can go towards helping our brothers and sisters down there in Florida that are in need. Peace, family.